talk like Constantine. But I think for who Keanu Reeves is, did a fairly close facsimile to what Constantine is. I mean, he played a pretty good, like, dirtbag kind of a guy in that movie. And I thought, for what Keanu Reeves is capable of, he's doing the best Constantine Keanu Reeves can do. So I thought it's not, like, story-wise, it's not that bad a movie.
He's been in the Justice League action show that I think is on, what, is that Cartoon Network? Justice League Action?
Maybe that's not, no, it's not, never mind. Yeah, probably maybe Cartoon Network.
But
I don't think it wouldn't be Disney because they're Marvel, so.
Yeah, and then of course the live action series with Matt Ryan, which I will say this, when it comes to casting live action comic book characters, there's only been a few that you look at them and you say, yes.
Mostly, I think like the characters with alter egos get it fine. Like even George Clooney didn't play a bad Bruce Wayne.
He was a horrible Batman.
Yeah, as a horrible Batman, looked silly in the costume. It was cheesy. But I mean, as far as like you said, Christian Bale's a good Bruce Wayne. Terrible Batman. It's I guess it's.
Well, I look at
just
it.
It's your opinion. It's my opinion. But I mean, like, some people think Michael Keaton's great. I don't like the Michael Keaton Batman movie. Everybody says it's great. I don't like it.
I like Michael Keaton. But okay, so like when they announced Patrick Stewart was going to be Professor Charles Xavier.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty damn straight on casting there.
Universally, that was yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, and maybe not at first, but like he grew into that.
Into that. Matt Ryan is one of those where a lot of us didn't really know who Matt Ryan was. I'll admit, I didn't know who he was before. I
had no idea before Constantine.
But you saw promotional pictures of him, and you looked at it, and you just said, "Yes, that's Constantine.
That's the guy."
That's the guy. And then when the first trailer for that came out, and you hear him talk and how he's smarmy and he's sarcastic and he's basically a jackass, it was just reaffirmed, yes, that's fucking Constantine. And then
I think the TV series, when it came out, I think people were excited. That reason was why people got excited. They saw him, and they saw. I don't know if it was a real promo or somebody photoshopped it, but there was one of him like sitting at a bar with like a cigarette, dressed as Constantine, and everybody that I saw when that there was a buzz going like, this is going to be really awesome with this guy. Then it came down to network TV fucking it up. I think they didn't promote it right. I think they should have got some new writers maybe. But I mean, as far as the guy. As far as Matt Ryan is concerned, he was perfect for it's not his fault. Some of the scripts were not that great.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're talking about, sadly, you got David S. Goyer behind the whole thing.
Well, and NBC, they weren't gonna like prime time show. They're not gonna let him get away with too much.
I'm sorry.
It's like that was if AMC would have been better. I mean, at least AMC would have had him smoking.
I'm sorry, David S. Goyer, there are things he does that are good. All right, he's had his massive hits, but he also has some major flops. And you need to really take a look at, I'm not trying to say anything bad, but the dude wrote Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance. And before that
transformation scenes worth every penny to watch.
I mean, now, like I said, I give the guy credit. He wrote Dark City.
I liked that movie when it came out. I dug that. It was kind of different and new and a weird kind of a thing.
All right, let's put it this way. He'll have a hit, then he'll have a miss. Then he'll have a hit, then he'll have a miss. So he had a miss. He did Crow City of Angels. Big miss. Then he did Dark City and Blade, which were hits. Then he had a couple more movies. Then he had Blade 2, which was a hit. I liked Blade 2, but then he had Blade Trinity. Big miss. Then he did Batman Begins. Hit. Then he was executive producer on Ghost Rider. Miss. Then he helped write the story for The Dark Knight. Hit. Then he wrote, he was the writer for Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance. Miss. Then he helped write the story for The Dark Knight Rises, which, that's kind of like a middle way. That's a middle ground.
Nicolas Cage might have had a little bit of something to do with the failure of Ghost Rider 2.
Then you have...
He's caging out in that movie.
Yeah. Then he did Man of Steel. He wrote the story for Man of Steel.
Which I think that's the best Superman movie ever made, live action. Anyway.
And he wrote the story for Batman v Superman.
Still think that's a great movie.
And the next two movies that he's got tapped up. He's the writer for the Masters of the Universe movie.
Really, and this is going to be like a live action, like set in Eternia. Good.
Yes. No going to fucking Chicago. I'm sorry, Chief, but no going to Chicago to meet Courtney Cox and her goddamn boyfriend in Lubeck.
Billy Barty.
Now, I actually wouldn't mind Billy if they could resurrect Billy Barty, because he actually...
I wish they'd have his bones in it. I wish they'd just have Billy Barty's
skeleton.
Billy
Barty. I am Gwildor. I'm sorry.
He would have put his fucking hand inside of his skull and move it like a puppet.
Masters of the Universe, the movie, is a guilty pleasure for me, and it's because of Billy
Oh,
Barty.
it's funny. It's fun to watch.
Because my favorite part is when Billy Barty is eating the ribs. And he's like pouring the barbecue sauce in his mouth, and Tila
horrible, disgusting little man.
And Tila's like, these came from an animal, and she's all disgusted that they're eating an animal. And Gwildor just looks at the rib. He goes, "It tasted good," and I'll die every time he says that. It's like, "It tasted good." So
Billy Barty's great.
Willow off good. Willow off good.
Popeyes, get that one Popeye.
I love Billy Barty. But Constantine, great character. If you want to know more about Constantine, there's trade paperbacks for Hellblazer. You can get the omnibuses, of course.
Yeah, the single issues aren't that hard to find. Like, no, I found like I said, I found like the whole run, and for like 50 cents a cover. So like, what the fuck? I'll buy them all.
As with most of these characters, it's very hard to cover everything. So we kind of give you just like this very watered down version of the history.
Yeah, I mean, this is meant to be like a Kickstarter for you to go read it,
Yes, and that's why
I've forgotten more than I can tell you about any one of these characters. I can see it, but I mean, we don't even we do no research for this show.
Just wait till we do a show
off the top of our heads.
Wait till we do a show on Arm Falls Off Boy.
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting for.
We're waiting for Arm Fall Off Boy, and we know these characters because we read them.
Jaguar, a whole expose on El Jaguar.
Yeah, we're gonna do the kangaroo. But next week, Cool Beer will be here with us for episode 175, which means we are only 25 away.
The harvest of blood.
We will only be 25 away from episode 200 of the Nerd Rage Renegades, which
200 episodes.
Which incidentally will also feature Cool Beer on the 200th episode, because every 25, it's set in stone.
Well, he was here for the 100, right?
Yeah, he was here for 25, 50, 75, 100, 125, 150.
He's like the anniversary guy. Maybe he's not like a curse upon the or like a prophecy. Maybe he's like the anniversary. He's like the baby New Year.
Cool Beer shows up every 25 episodes to let us drink from the golden chalice.
That's right.
And let us go.
Flies in with his golden wings.
He flies in on his goats, with his flying goats, and
like Thor.
The hammer.
Tooth Gnasher.
So next week, Cool Beer will be on, and then the week after that, we're going to discuss Plastic Man, because they just dropped something in metal, which we're going to talk about in a little bit.
An important fact. Important fact that if it was known before, I didn't know it, and I've been wondering for a long time. Actually, it was kind of a cool thing. We're actually going to talk about that when we do DC reviews a little bit.
Yes. So once again, I want a big thanks to everyone who signed up for the Stardust app. Remember, you can help us out. Go to Stardust, create an account. It's a free account. All it does is it links to your phone with your phone number. which means nobody will ever be able to hack your account. Well, hopefully not, knock on wood. Anytime you try to log into the account, it sends your phone a verification code, which logs you in. You can see trailers, reactions for trailers, movies, and television, first reactions. Honest to God, what we think about it. I just dropped a new one. I just dropped a new one this week.
We're not, they're not paying us or anything, but they're being really cool to us, and they seem cool and legit. I mean, we can't absolutely say 100% everything about them because we just started doing this not too long ago, and they just contacted us. But we're not saying, not saying there's anything bad or wrong with them, but I mean, as far as we know, this is a pretty cool thing, so you might want to check it out.
So many people are on there, the nostalgia critics on there. But you can see first reactions. I just dropped a reaction for Woody Woodpecker, the new Woody Woodpecker movie coming out.
I watched that one.
So go check that out. Make sure you follow us on there. Follow us. Just it would help us out a lot. Let's start us know that you like us. YouTube. Go to YouTube. Click that subscribe button on YouTube. Dropping movie commentaries. The show always goes up there on YouTube. It's a great way to connect with us because I'm on YouTube like all the fucking time. So if
you want to yell at us, make sure you put it on the right video.
Please put it on the right video. Unlike some asshole. But
it gets confusing if it's not on the right video because we can't remember what we said.
But gameplays are up there. You can see I've got probably 6 hours of gameplay from the game Blue Reflection on there. I've got some WWE gameplay. All the podcasts are up there, or at least the last maybe 10 podcasts are up there since we started putting them on there. Movie commentaries. Go check out our latest one, Beastmaster 3: The Eye of Braxis. We're going to be bringing you Strike Commando very soon. We're going to work on Strike Commando, so that'll be the next one that we're going to do. A little more toddler Red Brown running through the forest, scooping up the field mice and bopping them on the head. And then, of course, the return of Renegade Gaming this year. I have been hard at work with gameplay footage and writing to get these out. I've got some really good ones in the mix. And also, if you have the YouTube Gaming app, you can find us on the YouTube Gaming app. You can subscribe to us on there. You can click notifications. You'll always know when I go live with a stream, when I'm doing gameplay. I just need to get my headset so I can talk to you all. So go check us out there. Of course, Chiefs at Space Chief 75 on Twitter. I'm at the NRD RG Renegades. Crystal's going to let you know every place else that we're at as far as the show goes.
The Nerd Rage Renegades are on the air every Wednesday on Podbean, Stitcher, Player FM, iTunes, Google Play, and every Thursday on GamingRebellion.com, Filling the Void Podcast Network, and now iHeartRadio.
And then, of course, Facebook.com/NRR Truth Radio. So with that, that'll end the first part of the show. We are now going to hit a spoiler alert because we're going to talk DC Comics this week.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! The Renegades are about to spoil this week's DC Comics.
All right, Chief. DC Comics Metal is back. We've got Metal. Big shout out to Scott Snyder who emailed us to say, hey, can't wait to hear what you guys said about this issue. I know he's still trying to, we haven't gotten an email back on that other thing yet, so, but I'm working on that. But Metal number 5 comes out, continuing the story of the Dark Knight Metal saga. Lot happened in this issue.
This was a lot of stuff revealed of stuff that, well, at least I've been wondering about.
Definitely a lot of stuff with the Batman who laughs.
Yeah, a vicious bastard.
God, he's fucking evil.
Excuse me.
So when we last left the Super Friends, Batman and Superman were at the Forge.
Yes, with a giant demon Hawkman.
Did you notice that he quoted Gandalf in this issue? Hawkman did. He slams down.
Oh, yes.
You shall not pass.
Yeah. It's so weird because it seems like the heroes get a little bit of progress and figure out a little bit of a plan. And it just seems like the Batman who laughs in Barbados already know what they're going to do and have already made plans to fuck them even harder. And it just seems more and more hopeless every issue.
villains teaming up with Barbados. You know, teaming up with him.
Black
Manta.
Black